country music fans out there. This is Leigh with Coda Country, and today I am joined by a Mississippi boy who you might have seen on one of the most recent seasons of The Voice. This is Mr. Peyton Aldridge. How are you today, Peyton?
Well, doing good. How about you?
I'm doing so well. So I will say I saw your audition on The Voice, and that's not the
Sure.
main reason why I got you on the show today, even though I was floored whenever I saw it. Marshall Tucker Band is one of my favorites. So when I first saw your
Right.
audition, I was like, this guy has got it. Let me tell you. So tell me, let's talk a little bit about that first before anything else. I'd love to know about your time, you know, with John Legend and season 22, all of that, because that is very interesting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I tell everybody, I was just blessed that I had the opportunity just to go out there. And I think the hardest part for me it's like, yes, man, I loved it. But at the time, I just had a brand new baby, and I've never spent a weekend without him. And it's just when you got a wife and two little girls back home, and you're out in California for 3 months. And at the time, I didn't know I was going to be out there long. Heck, I didn't even think I was going to get a chair turn. But I think that was
Wow,
the hardest
yeah.
part. But man, being out there was absolutely one of the best times of my life, man. Just the friendships and like I tell everybody, it's just not every day that you get to sing in front of four legends. And I was just blessed that God's
I
been good,
know.
So it was awesome.
I saw that you also auditioned for American Idol back in the day, went through to Hollywood Week and everything like that, and it's insane to me to see an artist like yourself go through one competition and not make it as far, and then go through a next competition and make it a little farther. And I mean, yeah, it's incredible to kind of watch the growth and everything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so glad I got to talk to you about that a little bit today.
Oh yeah.
Well, and one of the main reasons why I have you on this episode today is to promote your new single that's coming out, One More Night with You, on August 25th. Tell me a little bit
That's right.
about the writing process with that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So one more night with you kind of came at a time where it was like, as a husband, and I'm trying to pursue my career, it's like I was spending more time doing music than I should have been back home. And at the end of the day, everything I do is for my family. And I just wanted to write an appreciation song to my wife, really about, yeah, I'm out here doing this stuff, but at the end of the day, I'll do anything for you and just spend one more night with you. So that's really about this. When I had the idea, it was me and Bubba, which is my manager, and we wrote it with a person named
Mhm.
Will Rambo and Cherie Austin up in Nashville. And
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
knocked the song out, man, and got it done, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. Well, and this single is coming off of a slew of singles that you've released this year. You've got another country song that released back in March, It's All For You, Summertime on Rewind. And I want to talk to you and ask you a little bit about this too.
Yeah,
Um, in my deep dive that I did into all your music, I love Summertime on Rewind. Like, that's one of my favorites from
there
you.
you go.
And I think it sounds so different to me than It's All For You.
Oh man,
So, I don't know. Yeah.
what's crazy about it is like when I put out songs, it's like people's expecting, this guy's just doing country. I like it all. I mean, there's only one thing I can't do, and that's really I can't rap. I just can't do that. But I like rock and blues and all that stuff. So what you hear from me is just all the different influences that has affected me. So that's what I try to do.
Yeah. Well, and so I introduced you as a Mississippi boy, but with that you get the Delta blues and traditional country music too. Tell me a little bit about your musical influences growing up, and inform the listener a little bit more about your musical style.
Yeah. So I mean, growing up, I was a huge, really, the first person that really impacted me was Gary LeVox from Rascal Flatts. Like, I absolutely loved
Yeah,
that dude.
insane vocals for
And
sure.
coming from and growing up in church, like I know you hear 1,000 people say this, but my grandfather was a Baptist preacher. I'm talking about old school Baptist preacher, and I grew up in the church singing in the choir, and doing all that good stuff. And Gary LeVox came around, and it's people like Chris Stapleton. Before he was actually Chris
Mm-hmm.
Stapleton, he
Steel
was with the
drivers,
Steel
yeah.
Drivers, and just I fell in love with his songwriting, and that's really why I love country music, man. It's really just the storytelling behind it.
Yeah. So, okay, you talked a little about Gary. You talked a little about Chris Stapleton. What are some of your other musical favorites? Like, what's at the top of your playlist right now?
So at the top of my playlist right now would be my girl Lainey Wilson, the song "Grease."
Ah,
Cooking with Grease, man. I'm
mm-hmm.
absolutely that girl right there. She's incredible, and she's a sweet
Yeah.
person.
Oh my gosh, yes. She's I don't know. It's awesome to find an artist that's as talented as they are humble, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
hands
she's definitely
down.
that. Yeah, for
She's
sure.
country as
Uh
cornbread. That's why I like
yes, exactly. Not afraid of that at all.
her.
Okay, so I guess your first single that you released, which was Hometown Girl, right, back
Yep,
in March, released right before the COVID-19 pandemic.
yep.
Tell me a little bit about the journey that you took from releasing that first single up to 2023, and you have all these singles come out and everything like that. I'd love to hear
Yeah. So
that little
really,
journey there.
yeah. So at the time, I knew I wanted to do it, and heck, I couldn't afford to go up there and get a real recording. So I said,
I
"Mama,
get it. Yes.
Mama, I need you to get me a computer and this interface, and I'm just fixing to YouTube how to do my own music." And that's what I did, and I put it out. And then when COVID hit, in which I say COVID affected millions of people, but it really didn't affect me because I was here writing songs and just doing everything. And down here in Mississippi, I feel like COVID never existed. I mean, it's a crazy
Yeah.
world. It was just another Delta flu, is what they was calling it, the Delta crud, like that. So
Yes.
no, so the COVID really didn't affect me at all. I just kept on writing and really got to meet a lot of people doing Zoom writes, which I've never done before. And
Hmm.
I think it really helped me get better at my craft. So,
Yeah. And so fast forward 2023, you have all these singles coming out with your next one being One More Night with You. Tell me, are all of these singles being released to create like an album eventually, or are you just
yeah,
going to keep
so
dropping singles?
right now in this world, it's what they call a waterfall effect. So you're putting out an artist, is
Hmm.
putting out stuff like really every 6 weeks, and streaming is really big. And,
Hmm.
I got an EP coming out soon, and I mean, I'm really close to an album being done. So I'm
Yeah.
actually, so yes, ma'am.
Well, yeah, and that's amazing. Just to see how how different your catalog of music is already. I'd love to know, how vastly different the rest of your songs on your album would be.
Well,
So
I will
that's
say
awesome.
this, that we got some bluesy stuff. We've got some Motown feelish stuff because I'm a big Motown
Oh,
guy, and
yeah.
it's just all different stuff. I'm not really
Yeah.
confined to one thing, but country music's my heart, and and like I tell people nowadays, I mean, how do you explain what country music really is today? I mean, it's everybody's different personal views on what country music is.
That's so true. And I guess that, reflects itself in the sound, which is
Yeah,
what makes it so unique.
absolutely.
Okay. Tell me something else. I was looking on your website, and I would love to know, do you have any like scheduled shows or any like appearances anytime soon?
Yes, man, I got a lot that our website needs to be updated. I'm actually heading to Texas this weekend. I'm playing at Texas Chrome, which is a military charity event type deal. And then
Cool.
I've got a show next week in my hometown again, which I'm excited for. And then we've got
Hmm.
a charity benefit uh, September 9th with a huge artist that everyone's going to love. I can't really say right now, but I'm really excited about it. And we
Cool.
just got a bunch of stuff coming up, bunch of stuff coming up.
Hmm. That's awesome. Okay, so you talked about being a dad of two little girls. Um, how how many times have your girls seen you play live?
Oh, pretty much every time, like I tell people all the time, like when you come to a Peyton Aldridge concert, it ain't just a typical 21-year up. No, man, all kids are welcome, and I think that's really,
Yeah.
and I think Walker Hayes, for example. I think he really inspired me to do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like they always say, if you don't put something out there good where your kids can't see it, then you really shouldn't be putting it out there at all, you know. So that's exactly what I do, and I kind of just follow his path on that. You know, I think it's really cool that my wife and kiddos can come. They can't make every show, but I promise you, my oldest girl, she knows every word that Daddy sings. So it's pretty cool.
That's so sweet. Well, and yeah, to be family centric like that, I mean, it's awesome that you're a big family dad and still pursuing the music career. And yeah, I applaud you for that for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all right, we talked about the top of your playlist and we talked a little bit about your musical influences. Tell me more about, like, if you had a dream lineup, okay, of a music festival or a touring group, however you want to think about it. Who would be on the slate of acts that you would want to perform with if you went on tour with somebody?
Oh, I got this. I got this. So number one is going to be Lainey Wilson, hands down. Number two will be Chris Stapleton. Number three would be Rascal
Mm-hmm.
Flatts. Then
Ooh.
the number four would be, of course, my boy Morgan Wallen. I love that dude. And number
Mm-hmm.
five, I'm going to say Bryce Leatherwood, which is my really good friend. He just won.
Oh.
Man, I love that dude.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. And thinking about y'all's two voices together, like that's a good little pairing right there. Y'all should
Oh
do some
man,
kind of like duet or
well,
something
the
soon.
thing is, we got a song we wrote together when we was in California. That's it's gonna be really good. It's like four of us the main people that made it to the finale down there. We wrote it together, and we got a thing coming out, and it's gonna be really really cool. I'm excited for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool. A little sneak peek there.
it
How
is.
cool.
It is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, listen, I am so glad that you were able to talk to me today. I am more than happy to promote your single that's coming out on August 25th. Is there anything else that you'd like to promote coming up soon?
Man, I just want to say thank you for having me come on the show. It really means a lot, you know. And that's why I tell my wife all the time. I was like, you know, the music world's hard, but when you have people that take their time out of the day to talk about you and ask you what's going on, that really means a lot. So I really just want to say thank you for doing that.
Oh my gosh. Of course. Of course. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule because I know, you never know what's going to happen with an artist from day to day.
Right.
So oh my gosh. Well, Peyton, thank you again. And listeners out there, follow along. Peyton, will you drop your social media and any other kind of way we can find you just so the listeners can find you and follow
Yeah.
along?
So you can find me on what I call my grandmother's favorite site, which is Facebook. You can find it on Peyton Aldridge Music. Then you can go to Instagram and just type in Peyton Aldridge Official, and same thing with TikTok. So Peyton Aldridge Official.
Perfect. All righty. So listeners out there, check out Peyton Aldridge on all the platforms, stream his music, and you heard it here with Leigh and Coda
Thank
Country. Have a good day.